Is it too late to buy Salesforce stock after the stock price is soaring after excellent earnings results? I'm going to answer that question in this video. I'm also going to do an earnings review. I'm going to look at the big picture highlights from Salesforce's earnings report, and then I'm going to finish by answering if Salesforce stock is still a buy or if it's too late to buy. So let's get right into it. Revenue increased by 14% in its fourth quarter to 8.4 billion. The loss per share of 10 cents worsened from a loss per share of 3 cents in the same quarter the prior year. However, if you look at operating income, that improved to 357 million, up from a loss of 176 million in the same quarter the prior year. The difference between operating income and net income being a change in valuation in one of its investments. Cash flow from operations increased by an impressive 41% to $2.8 billion. RPO, which stands for remaining performance obligations, increased by 11% to 48.6 billion. Now, this is impressive because other companies in the space, in the same industry that Salesforce operates in, have been reporting difficulty securing contracts. They've been having a hard time signing on the dotted line, getting companies, enterprises to sign and close the deal because some companies have become more worried about the economic prospects over the next 3 to 6 to 9 months, right? Consumer spending has slowed and shifted, right? Two things are going on. Consumers are spending less money online and more money away from home at places like restaurants, theme parks, movie theaters, concerts, bars, traveling, things like that. Overall, consumers are spending less money because they've got fewer stimulus dollars remaining from 2021, right? They've begun to spend those savings away. If you look at a chart of the excess savings in consumer bank accounts, that chart has been moving steadily downward as people have been spending that down, right? And then at the same time, inflation is forcing consumers to pay more for essentials like rent and fuel and food. And so that's leaving less money for discretionary budgets. All of this is a headwind for Salesforce and other tech companies. So the fact that they were able to increase revenue by 14%, increase cash flow from operations, increase RPO, all of that in this difficult macroeconomic environment was impressive and can partly explain why the stock price was up significantly after these earnings were released. In fact, Salesforce stock is up over 40% year to date so far in 2023. And if you've been one of my viewers throughout the year and you saw my video, the top 23 stocks to buy for 2023, Salesforce was one of those stocks. I recommended Salesforce as one of my top 23 stocks to buy for 2023, and the stock is already up 40%. Now, not all of my recommendations are winners, but this one happens to be one of the ones that has done incredibly well so far in 2023. Now, if you want to see that list, I'll link to that video at the end of this one so you can check out the rest of that portfolio, what's in my list and what's remaining because I've made adjustments. Another thing investors liked from Salesforce's fourth quarter was that the headcount is starting to come down. The company had 79,390 employees as of January 31. This was down by roughly 430 from 79,824 as of October 31, and I suspect more layoffs to be coming, and as the company had told investors they're going to lay off a significant amount of their workforce. This has been a trend throughout tech companies. They overhired during the pandemic as growth was surging, and they wanted to make sure they had enough talent to accommodate for that growth. But now revenue growth rates have decelerated considerably. Macroeconomic headwinds are increasing, so it's not necessary to have all of these employees, and it might be healthy to trim down some of these employee counts to, you know, right size the company, focus on profitability more than just focusing on growth. So investors were happy to see Salesforce making progress in this regard. And then for 2024, Salesforce is forecasting revenue growth of 10%, earnings per share of $2.60 at the midpoint, and operating cash flow to grow by 15%. All of which were excellent, excellent in the eyes of investors because of the headwinds I mentioned earlier and the fact that this comes on top of the robust growth that Salesforce experienced during the earlier stages of the pandemic. So this pleased investors, and the stock is soaring as a result. Again, the stock is up over 40% year to date in 2023. So is it too late to buy Salesforce stock? I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. I would say no. I would say no. I would say if you're interested in Salesforce stock, there is still room to jump in here. The stock price is up, to be sure, but that is on the back of meaningful fundamental performance improvements, right? The stock is up because cash flow is up, because prospects are up, RPO is up, the forecast for 2024 is better than expected. So, all of which supports and justifies the stock price increase. The stock price isn't just increasing ahead of potential, it's increasing because the company has already proven increases in cash flow, increases in profitability, increases in effectiveness, right? So, for that reason, it's not too late to jump into Salesforce stock right now. Okay, so that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your viewership. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to link to my portfolio of top 20 stocks to buy. So if you like this video and you want a list of a bigger group of stocks that I recommend as buys, please go ahead and click that one. And I'll also link to another video just in case you don't like that one and you want to watch the other one. Please click on one of those and I'll see you over there.